Imagine waking up with the goal of understanding what makes us human. That's a day in the life of an anthropologist. Whether they are studying ancient civilizations, examining modern-day cultures, or uncovering the secrets hidden in our bones, anthropologists are explorers of the human experience. Their work involves traveling through time, across continents, and even deep into our psyches to understand who we are, where we come from, and where we might be going. The day might begin with an anthropologist reviewing their notes, preparing for another day of fieldwork. Fieldwork, for an anthropologist, is their bread and butter. It's where they gather information, observe cultures, conduct interviews, and dig, sometimes literally, for answers. It's the heart of what they do, whether they're living among an isolated tribe in the Amazon or carefully cataloging artifacts in a museum. One anthropologist, Margaret Mead, became famous for her fieldwork in the South Pacific, where she studied the customs and social structures of indigenous communities. Her work, particularly her observations on gender roles, changed the way the world thought about human behavior and culture. Mead once said, "Anthropology demands the open-mindedness with which one must look and listen, record in astonishment and wonder that which one would not have been able to guess." That sense of wonder still drives anthropologists today. After a morning of preparation, the anthropologist might head out into the field. Imagine an anthropologist named Dr. Sanchez, who's been living in a remote village in Africa for 6 months, learning about the local customs, language, and traditions. Today, she's invited to witness a coming-of-age ceremony for the village's young women. This is no ordinary event. It's a deeply significant ritual that marks the transition from childhood to adulthood, filled with symbolism, songs, and dances that have been passed down for generations. Dr. Sanchez observes carefully, taking notes, but also participating when appropriate, so as not to remain a distant outsider. Fieldwork like this is about immersion. Anthropologists don't just study people from a distance. They live among them, learn from them, and become part of their world for a while. It's through this close, respectful engagement that anthropologists can understand the why behind human behavior. Why do some cultures have elaborate rites of passage? Why do certain societies organize their families in particular ways? Why do humans believe what they believe? These are the kinds of questions anthropologists seek to answer. In other parts of the world, an anthropologist might be unearthing clues from our past. Archaeological anthropology is one of the most hands-on branches of the field, often involving long days spent in the dirt, carefully excavating ancient tools, pottery, and even human remains. Consider Dr. Lewis, an archaeologist who's been working on a dig site in Egypt. Today, his team has discovered a set of burial artifacts in an ancient tomb that dates back over 4,000 years. These objects, ornate jewelry, ceramic jars, and a carefully carved sarcophagus, offer a glimpse into the beliefs and social structures of the people who lived long ago. Each piece tells a story, and it's up to Dr. Lewis and his team to piece those stories together. Archaeology is often painstaking work. Patience is key. There are no shortcuts when it comes to excavating history. One famous discovery that illustrates this is the unearthing of the city of Troy in the late 19th century. For years, scholars debated whether Troy was a real place or merely a myth. But thanks to the tireless work of Heinrich Schliemann, the remains of Troy were found, confirming its existence and providing invaluable insights into ancient Greek and Anatolian civilizations. In the afternoon, an anthropologist might return to the lab or office, where the real work of analysis begins. Data collected in the field must be carefully sorted, interpreted, and written up. Anthropologists are storytellers in a sense. They take the raw material of human experience and make sense of it for the rest of the world. One of the most famous examples of this is the work of Franz Boas, considered the father of American anthropology. Boas was instrumental in debunking the then popular idea that some races were superior to others. Through meticulous research, he demonstrated that culture, not biology, shaped human behavior. His work laid the foundation for modern anthropology and its commitment to understanding people on their own terms. The data that anthropologists collect can vary widely. Cultural anthropologists might rely on interviews and personal observations, while biological anthropologists might collect DNA samples or study fossils. A biological anthropologist like Dr. Patel, for instance, might spend her day analyzing the bones of early hominids, trying to trace the evolutionary steps that led to modern humans. This type of research helps answer fundamental questions about our species: where we came from, how we adapted to different environments, and how we continue to evolve. Did you know that anthropology has even played a role in criminal investigations? Forensic anthropologists work with law enforcement to identify human remains and help solve crimes. One famous case involved the use of forensic anthropology to identify the remains of the Romanov family, the last czars of Russia, who were executed during the Russian Revolution. Decades later, anthropologists helped confirm the identities of the bodies found in a mass grave, finally putting to rest one of the 20th century's greatest mysteries. By the end of the day, an anthropologist might spend time writing, often translating their findings into articles, reports, or even books. This process can take months or years, but it's essential to the field. Anthropologists don't just keep their knowledge to themselves, they share it with the world. It's through their work that we learn about other cultures, understand the diversity of human experience, and reflect on our own societies. As anthropologist Ruth Benedict once said, "The purpose of anthropology is to make the world safe for human differences." An anthropologist's work doesn't end when they leave the field or lab. They are constantly thinking about the bigger questions. What does it mean to be human? How do our beliefs, rituals, and behaviors connect us across time and space? How can we use our understanding of the past and present to build a better future? These are the questions that keep anthropologists curious and motivated, day after day. For many anthropologists, their work is deeply personal. They see themselves as advocates for the people and cultures they study. They know that telling the stories of others with accuracy, respect, and empathy can help foster understanding and break down barriers. It's not just about studying the world, it's about making it a better place. In the end, a day in the life of an anthropologist is about discovery, curiosity, and connection. Whether they're digging up ancient civilizations, exploring the intricacies of modern-day cultures, or uncovering the secrets written in our bones, anthropologists are always asking the big questions. And in their answers, they help us understand what it means to be human.